And we
and that's
live
the way
right
I
now.
do it. Yeah.
Mr. Serv on, man. No Limit Records, man. Welcome back to the show. We tuning live from St. Louis, Missouri. I'm your show host, Isreal Pacoso, man. How you been, man?
Oh man, I'm blessed. I'm alive, man. Just working hard, man. Working hard. You see the wristband on there, man. You know, I'm in honor of my mom. I'm pushing, with Alzheimer's and dementia caregivers to raise money to give people who are taking care of their loved one. It could get expensive, especially within the black community. So that's the main focus, So people see me with this on. That's what this about. You know what I'm saying?
That's love.
So and
That's
then
love.
projects after projects and situations right now. So
Yeah.
working,
Okay.
man.
So hopefully the people, who see this video, they tap in, and they, you making it aware for all the people that's going through something like what you going through and your family going through. My heart out
Yeah,
to you.
definitely. Because I lost my mom to it, a year and a half ago.
Rest in
So I
peace.
just decided, yeah, I did. Rest in peace, man. I decided to get more involved because my mom was a person that was of service to the community, always feeding people, kids and helping at the church. So I always promised her I would be of service. And so now what I'm doing is, people in the black community that don't know about Alzheimer's and dementia, they get nervous when they find out their loved one have it. So what I'm trying to do is now come to the black communities all across the United States and tell them what they need to do, how they need to prepare, how to get your home together so they, to make sure that your parent is okay, your loved one is okay, and changing the diet, even if your elderly parent doesn't have Alzheimer's or dementia, changing their diet also, can ward it off, and
Mm-hmm.
keep them from going that route. So it's a lot that we don't know. But then I was blessed to have some extra money when it happened with my mom to get extra help. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of
Yeah.
black people don't have that, especially living below the poverty level. So my thing now is to raise money for caregivers, people that take care of their loved ones. And so that's what I'm doing right now. I have a song that's going to be coming out real soon. All the proceeds are going to Alzheimer's and dementia caregivers.
Okay.
So that's going to be pretty big. And I just wish, everybody definitely participate so I can keep raising enough money with Alzheimer's Association to be able to say for instance, not saying you, right, but just say you were somebody and your parent, a loved one has the Alzheimer's dementia, and and your Medicaid or Medicare or insurance takes care so much, but you're
Mhm.
always gonna need extra help. You're gonna
Right.
need somebody come there and bathe them and help you around the house with it, and you might not have the extra money. So
Mhm.
with us, you'll be able to get a grant to get a stipend every month to help you, different to get food, to pay for somebody extra to come that you wouldn't normally have, especially our people in the community who live below the poverty level, in so many ways, a lot of them. So
Yeah.
that's like a big thing for me now to raise money, to help and bring awareness to our communities.
That's what's up. Y'all hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, help with the algorithm. We got Mr. Serv on, No Limit Records, platinum artist on here. Man, y'all heard what he said, man. Y'all tap in. With that being said, you talked about new music. Can you let them know about the new record we got coming out, Stlmogz, man? I was gonna ask you, man, how long did it take you to write the verse, man? Like when you heard my verse, man, like what did you do to prepare for that?
Once I heard it, because I kind of started sowing, I start, because what I do is, and we gonna keep it 100, right?
Yeah.
When you're younger than me, I know I have to step up. And rap is still good competition. Well, okay, your verse was hot. I'm like, I gotta bust his young ass. We're gonna keep it real. We're gonna,
For
you
sure,
know what I'm
for
saying?
sure.
I gotta let him know OG still can maintain, right? And
Yeah.
so you gave me a challenge. And then the way you and I talk, and I tell people it's difference of rapping, right? You
Yeah.
could rap or you could talk to people. Jay
That's real.
Z talks to people.
That's real.
When a lot of rappers gonna learn, they just do songs. But in time to be successful, to really catch people, you got to talk to them. Well, when you
Hmm.
when they listening to your words, they looking at their everyday life like, yeah, okay, and they get talking to me. I'm hearing some shit, and
Yeah.
so that's how you rap. That's how you are. You good at it, man. And coming from the Midwest, you know what I'm saying. You really have, you know and not being, I don't feel, I hope you don't feel it disrespectful. You have a little Jay-Z in you, even though
Yeah,
you from the Mo. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And so my thing is, so when I went to do my verse, I'm like, oh, okay, this how you trying to do me, right? All right, okay. I say
yeah,
he ain't gonna put me in retirement. Let me do what I need to do. So I don't write anymore. So more or less, I call it thought rapping, whereas I record myself, and I basically will start. It's freestyling, and I'm a
yeah,
freestyle after I listen to the concept and really studied your verse on where you want to go, and I'm a freestyle to I mess up, and if I mess up, then I go on the second track, and by then I'm already remembering it. So now I'm rapping along with it, and then then boom, I keep going until I mess up again. And then when
yeah,
I come back, I just cut all the mess up parts out, then combine everything, and then listen to it for a little bit, listen to it where I learn it. And then now I can go back on my ad lib. You know what I'm saying? Because get older, you ain't doing all that doubles and triples. That's for y'all
yeah,
youngsters, man. And
for
so
sure.
then, do my ad libs and my stuff in between, you know what I'm saying? And put my signature serve on that, hey, and that's it. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And then listen to it and make sure I'm standing up to your level. You know what I'm saying?
for
Because
sure.
I'm like that. If I feel like I ain't standing up to your level, I might do two or three different verses of a verse whenever I'm doing a feature. So that's what that and then it was important because I love St. Louis. St. Louis is real important for me all the way going back to two things. The Lunatics, who I'm real close with Ali. That's my
Shout out
guys,
Ali.
especially
Shout
on
out
the
to Big
internet.
Brother Ali.
You
Shout out
know,
Big Bro Key
yeah,
Wine and Murphy Lee now.
I'm about to get to all of them, man. Murphy Lee, you know what I'm
Shout out Big
saying?
Cut
Nelly,
Nelly.
because I feel like they never got enough respect as one of hip hop's top 10 groups of all times. Lunatics. They brought in a new look. They brought in a new sound. And then when you thought about St. Louis, like I knew about St. Louis because in the military I had dudes from the Lou, and they were some real dudes, dog. I'm talking about you. We in any country, if I
Yeah,
swing, they swing twice. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So
for
I
sure.
knew about the Lou, but most people think about the Lou with uh with sports before Nelly and them in say Lunatics came. You feel what I'm saying?
Right, right.
And so I feel like they was a huge importance. And then with No Limit, they really supported us because we broke in the Midwest first. And
Yeah,
St. Louis was one of them places where you got that eye-opening experience of really like, man, we popping. You pull up to St. Louis, and I remember I forgot the arena had the blues flags on it, the hockey team. And if
okay.
you ever see a jacket, I got a jacket that I got a leather jacket with all the patches, but instead of getting the NFL patches and NBA like C Murder did and P had,
You got the
mine's
blues
had
joint.
hockey patches on it, and you could see the blues
Yeah,
patch at the front. So St. Louis, when we pulled up, man, and we that was one of them eye openers that St. Louis gave us, where it's like we done made it because that
right.
arena was packed. And then we did a show before the arena at a club out there, and it's as real as you get. It ain't for rappers that soft.
For
Coming to the
sure, for sure.
Lou is not for rappers that are soft. If you going out there and you talking
Man,
that
y'all
talk,
heard that, man, from Mr. Serv on, man. Y'all tap
yeah,
in,
man.
man.
And and I got family out there that I'm real cool with. My guy Fred, them is a bunch of them out there. They had a label, and people don't know me and KL was out there for a while, a lot, something like a month or so doing work and whatever, whatnot, man. And
Okay.
and the funny, crazy part about it, when we got back on our No Limit tour, and I add this for you, the next question. My wife, I took on a tour with us, and
Mhm.
one of the places though that she loved, Chicago and St. Louis. You
That's
know what
what's
I'm
up.
saying? She loved St. Louis, and it just so happened we had a room, and where our room was at, I got the window where it's overlooking the baseball stadium. You know what I'm saying? And we went around in St. Louis and enjoyed ourselves. But you know, the Lou real, man, and I love the Lou. So for me, that's why I said the Lou and Throw Your City up on my album.
Man,
You know
that's
what I'm saying? And my No Limit album. Because I know what the Lou is, and don't the Lou don't get the respect it deserves. I'm glad that it's not sitting atop of the murder rate like it used to be. That because that's our people that's losing their life.
right.
But rap wise, the Lou and just being part of hip hop history. If they don't say St. Louis, then they shouldn't say hip hop history. So I like the Lou, man. I fuck with the Lou.
Man, with that being said, man, y'all go tap in. Isreal, Pacoso, Stlmogz featuring Mr. Serv on, man. This shit out right now. Y'all tap in, man. Real spill. With that being said, man, we're gonna take it all the way back, man. Tell the people, when did you fall in love with hip hop?
Oh man. Uh to be totally honest, man, LL, man. LL Cool J, man. His name is James Charles Smith. My name is Edward Corey Smith. You
Yeah,
know,
we got
I used to
remember you, man, you got the same name and shit, Corby and shit.
yeah, man, shit. You know, and it's like I used to wear the pants leg, one pants leg up, man, and on my push-ups, man, you know, think for like just wanted to be LL. I'm talking about, man, keep my face all washed up, everything,
Yeah.
man. And so I fell in love with his persona of what he was illustrating. And then lyrically, you know, his
Hmm.
aggressiveness and you know, and so you got around that time, L was that guy for me. I mean, the rock hymns, of
Right.
course. You know what I'm saying? And you know, with me, I don't have a grill. It's not a grill at the bottom of my mouth, right? And so
Hmm.
people, everybody normally do gold. I've always had silver, and I got that from Just Ice, the rapper, a rapper from Philly, gangster rapper
Okay.
from Philly. And when I spell a lot, you know what I'm saying? And this goes back to love, first love of hip hop. When I spell, I always spell my name, you know, Mr. Serv, S-D-R, the V, didn't die, you know, and I do that. That was from K Solo,
Okay.
a rapper off the East Coast. You know what I'm saying? And then Scarface is God to me in rap. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? And so those days, those people there, man, the Ghetto Boys, Scarface, you know what I'm saying? LL, MC Shadi, you know what I mean? The Rakims, Big Daddy Kane, you
Yeah.
know, I mean, those were the ones that made and Tretch from Naughty by Nature.
Shout out Church
Big
now.
time, big time. That's why when people say, "Okay, you rap fast," it comes from Tretch. You know what I'm saying? And so that's when I fell in love with it, man. I mean, I'm a little older, but I fell in love with it, you know, back then, man. But LL was my guy, man. I I lost a girlfriend because of a LL song, man. I
Damn.
decided at her brother's party to straight up rap and do everything on I'm bad, a Stokes Finn thing, everything you did in the video. And she was like, she said, "You embarrassed me. You stupid for that." And I'm looking at her like, all right. She said, "Don't call me no more." And the funny thing about it is that was a motivation for me also, because once No Limit Pop and my album came out, we had an autograph session. And she
Yeah.
was married at that time. And her husband was my biggest fan. So she had to
Damn.
stand there and take a picture with me and him,
Damn.
you know. And
That's
so
crazy.
it was more or less like, yeah, I didn't become LL as big as LL, but
Yeah.
the world
You
know my
def
name. You know what I'm
damn right. You
saying? So
definitely a legend, man. For
yeah,
sure.
so
All
I
around the world.
appreciate that, man.
For sure. With that being said, man, next question, man. What was it like growing up in New Orleans for Mr. Servon?
Same way St. Louis. You
Yeah.
know, St. Louis and New Orleans swapped every damn near every, you know what I'm saying? Look at what every year, murder capital. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? And so and St. Louis is, even though it's in the Midwest, St. Louis has that down country feeling, good food, you know what I'm saying? Beautiful women, you know what I mean? Real dudes, you know,
Yeah.
family atmosphere. So New Orleans, growing up in New Orleans was very cultural, man, you know, because we have a rich culture. You know what I'm saying? We sad to say, you know, we have uh, a very dangerous history. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Because beefs don't die. Beefs don't die just with me and you. It go
Right.
to our
Right.
brothers, our sons. Our sons gonna beef. It's, you know, that was New Orleans. But the beauty of New Orleans was I knew it racism existed. Outside of New Orleans, you knew it was there. But New Orleans was different, man, where I'm not saying racism didn't exist. Of course it did. But New Orleans is a place that I could bring you in the hood to a spot and you're gonna look at me and say, "Man, why are these white people in here?"
Yeah.
Because some of them grew up in the hood. And one thing we don't mess around, even white people, man, if somebody white from out of town play a racism game, a white person will tell you, "I'll punch you in your shit, shut up, get from around us with this." New Orleans is
Yeah,
like a melting pot, man. It's a gumbo, and it's culture. And I always say we were a different southern city. We'll accept you call us country. We country. We it's the South. Ain't nothing wrong with being country because most of the United States, black majority of the United States, they derive from the South.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Doing civil rights, a lot of people don't know. If you look at people in Chicago, they come from Mississippi. People
yeah. That's where my
migrated from the
grandparents come
South.
from.
Yeah, they migrated from the South to the Midwest, to the East Coast, or whatever. And so with New Orleans, though, it used to kill me when New York guys would be like, "What you doing with that on?" And I have on polos and and valleys and all this and chains, and I'm like, "That's the way we live down there."
Hmm.
And rap opened the door for people to see like New Orleans is not you're not gonna come down here and see people racing past with a horse. You know what I'm saying? We got people be on horses here and there doing stuff, but
Yeah,
what people assume about New Orleans is different. And I just think that's New Orleans, and it's hard to make it rap wise because New Orleans have their own style. And see, I rap, so it was different for me. Everybody bounced like Juvenile bounced first.
yeah,
Mia X bounced first. They, and so New Orleans is hard to make it as a rap artist. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
They actually rap. So that's New Orleans in a nutshell, man. Mardi Gras. It's fun. It's 24/7. You walk around. You can walk around with your drink, and nobody gonna tell you nothing. To go to jail, you basically got to commit a serious crime because most police will tell you, man, look, y'all want to fight, go about your business, fight over there. You know what I'm saying? I
hmm,
mean, don't blow no weed in my face. You can walk. New Orleans is it's fun. It's very open.
yeah.
You could be yourself. We accept people. Whoever you are. If people thought you was weird in your city, you're not weird to us,
Type
man.
shit.
Do you? You know what I'm saying? And that's New Orleans.
For sure, for sure. On to the next question. Did you grow up with Birdman from Cash Money?
Yeah, we went from kindergarten on to eighth grade, was in school together, but we played sports together. And I tell people this all the time when they look at Birdman, all the gangster stuff, slow moving, walking, and all that. That dude was one of the best two guards in basketball.
Damn,
AAU played
Birdman used to
AAU.
hoop. Shout out
Man,
Birdman, Cash Money
Birdman
Records.
had handles. Then on the football field, he'll knock your motherfucking helmet off you.
Okay,
And then on the baseball field, nigga, he knocking that bitch out the park. He
for
played
sure.
all sports. He played all sports. A lot of people don't know that. You know what I'm saying? I know him as Brian. Everybody, call him Baby Stunner. And he's one of them, in the rap game, everybody got the legends of the I was in the game big time in the streets, right? Nah, he one of them that did it for real. That stunting shit, y'all, everybody might see it as, oh, that's a little persona. No, at 14, 15, this dude had pockets with like this jewelry, doing
Yeah,
his thing. You know what I'm saying? And was a man about himself. He wasn't. You're not gonna hear you, and you yet to hear it. No coward stories. Anybody handle him and this? No,
uh huh,
because he had his brother, God rest his soul. Eldrick was really my best friend. Me and Baby was tight because we
yeah.
played
Rest
sports
his
together.
soul.
But Eldrick, his brother Eldrick was one of them. You know what I'm saying? But Baby was that was my partner, man. That was Brian. You know what I'm saying? His uncle lived two houses from me, so you see his sister all the time. And then Slim, the mastermind, that was Big Brother to
Yeah.
us
Shout out
because he was,
Slim.
yeah, big that was Big Brother. So yeah, I grew up with him.
For sure, for sure. How did you meet Master P at of No Limit Records?
Uh, Following him around everywhere. Wanted to be like him on the basketball court. Everywhere he played, him and his brother Kevin, God rest his soul. I went everywhere they went. Me and C followed them everywhere. And me and C was real tight. And then the project they lived in, my cousin, Randall, who people speak about a lot, Slim Randall, you know, they were real tight. They grew up together. So I used to be back there a lot. And that was always the issue when No Limited Cash Money. I always felt like I'm in between. I grew up with P, grew up with Baby. I'm in between, like,
Yeah.
like
Uh huh.
if it was any animosity, I can't be mad at Baby. That's my bro. And I'm always gonna ride with P. That's bro.
That's
So
real.
yeah, so I grew up with P, following P, just wanted to be like him.
Most definitely. Okay, on to the next question. We're gonna talk about your first album on No Limit Records, Life Insurance, man. What was the inspiration coming up with the title that you created, Life Insurance, man? What was your mind
Well,
at right there?
okay, I'm gonna break it down and make people really watching this think. Everything about your life is paper. And people might say, man, what that mean? Would everybody work around, hustle, and think about every day, all day? Money,
Paper,
right? Money. That's paper. When you're born, you're given a what? Birth certificate. That's paper.
paper.
That identifies you. Money identifies your status and who you are, right? Paper. When you die, death certificate. What is on? Paper.
Paper.
You can't get that life insurance policy money until you show that death certificate, that paper. And what is
Damn,
life insurance? What is a life insurance on? Paper.
that's
You know
real.
what I'm saying? So that's what life insurance was really about. That everything, your life is really dictated by paper. Your social security card, your birth certificate, your life insurance, your death certificate, your birth certificate, and you all live your life. Everybody about your whole life. Your insurance of your whole life is surrounded by making money. That's what
Yeah,
life insurance was about.
man. Did you think it was gonna do 3.4 million though?
Honestly, I was scared, bro, because No Limit was really popping. And I was like, dear God, don't let me, please don't let me be the one that don't get a number five, at least number five album in the world on Billboard. Man,
Yeah,
please don't let me be the one to mess everything up. And so, and when I did the album, when I first started, KL was like, you're not being yourself. Just do the fucking music, bro. Just do it your way. Don't try to rap like nobody else. Don't let your mindset be what you need to do. And he kind of calmed me down after two songs in. And I just was like, I'm gonna be me. I'm not like
yeah.
the other artists. I don't rap like the other artists. My dialect and my word choice is not like the other artists. And I just start being me. And Fiend was there every step of the way. You
Shout
know what
out
I'm
Fiend,
saying?
man.
Oh man, Fiend.
In the heart
Oh,
of the ghetto, boy. Yeah,
bro, let
for
me tell you
sure.
something. You want to talk about somebody dedicated, and he got a project right now out right now, man. His documentary, Baddest Motherfucker Alive. Y'all go check it out, bro. That's y'all. His story is ridiculous, but he was the type, man. I could be there and I'm finished verse one and whatever, and I might walk out to go to the bathroom. He like, I got something, and it's 2 in the morning. Like, why are you still here, bro? Where's your
Yeah.
family? And so with help, with his help and KL them saying be yourself, I eased up. And so when it came out and it was number five in the world, I was like, okay, I did my job. Then I saw the numbers.
The voice went out. I can't hear you. Y'all tap in, man. When I fell in love with hip hop, Mr. Serv on, man. YouTube.com. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Yo, yo,
All
you
right,
back?
yo, you can hear me now. I'm sorry, bro.
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, I mean, I really didn't see the impact of that album until social media, and the most humbling experience, man. Because I tell people, I don't call people fans or groupies. I call them family.
Yeah.
And so when family is addressing you as a legend and saying that album was legendary, and I'm saying, nah, that wasn't my best album that I felt.
Yeah.
But I've learned to say it's what the people think because I am who I am, and any rapper should feel this way. If it wasn't for the people, it ain't your homeboy. It ain't your
Yeah.
homeboys around you. It's them people out there. You know,
It's
them
some people
dudes
out
that
there, yeah.
them dudes that knowing they probably have to go get a 48 box of Pampers and they go get a 24 so they can go get your CD or your cassette back then. You know what I'm saying? And once social media came, I said, I know I did my thing because some of my rap idols, when they saw me, they knew my name. That was everything to me. But when we got to social media and people be like, man, that life insurance that's a legendary album, dog. You're a legend. And I'm sitting back like me, and, and I'm like, I love that album. That was my first entry to the world, but I'm like, I ain't feel like that was the best album I ever did, you
Mm-hmm.
know. And so it meant a lot, man. It meant a lot. And then, you know, people brag about the numbers. You know, everybody like you sold it because they get in competition who sold the most. Like now it's about streaming and all that. You know, for me, I left that to the ones that need to feel that certain way. You know, because it's competition. Rap is the most egotistical sport in the world. You know what I'm saying? So it's okay. It's friendly competition. And then when I
Hmm.
start realizing, like, yo, I put up some numbers. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, you know what I'm saying? And then I start realizing, have being a number 5 on Billboard, like that's the number 5 album in the world. Like,
Yeah,
what more can you ask for? You forever in history. And I tell young rappers that right now, the money gonna come. If you just solely doing it for the money, you're not gonna win. But if you understand and saying, I want to live forever, I want my words and my name to live forever. The music I'm gonna do right now, I want it to live forever. 100 years from now, they can look up on some computer device and see my name. You know what I'm saying? I did my job. You
that's real.
understand what I'm saying? And that's how I felt about all of that.
For sure, for sure. What was your first record known to the people? Soldier for Life with Soldier Slim, or did you have some previous than that?
Uh, I think I had stuff before that. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm trying to get KL right now. He has the only copies of my album before No Limit,
Okay.
and I want people to hear it. You
Shout
know,
out
because
KLC, man.
they're gonna oh man, the drum major man, that's one of the 5 masters, man. You know, of production. Um, and I want people to see like, whoa, he was rapping like that way back then, like a whole different style that because he caught me fresh off coming from the East Coast.
Yeah,
So it was a more East Coast writing style with a south dialect. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? And the concepts I remember they was just because he really taught me, because I knew how to rap, but he told me you didn't know how to rap. He told me straight in my face when he first heard me, you don't know how to rap. And I was looking at him and I'm saying to myself, and at that time I was still in the streets in my way, the corporate way. And so I had money in my pocket. I'm saying to myself, man, I could buy this dude life. He playing with me, right?
yeah,
And he saw the look on my face, and I'm not somebody gonna run. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna prove him. And he was like, what I mean is, I told you to rap 16 bars. You just rap 58 fucking bars. I said, what's bars? He was like, you don't
yeah.
know what bars are? I'm like, no. And so he taught me how to count bars and you know what I'm saying, and wordplay and word translation, with what I was doing. So he really broke me down and recreated me. So I am what he created.
Man, shout out KLC once again, man. We spoke on Soldier Slim, man. What was your relationship like, or friendship like with Soldier Slim?
Me and Slim was I would always tell people like that was little bro. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I met him on the Parkway, with KL. And I
Mm.
mean, first time I ever met him, I always knew of him, when he was making his noise, being away from home, coming home, grabbing music, taking it back to Virginia. And I remember the first time I met him, I was in the studio with KL, like met him personally.
Yeah,
And he walked in and he was like, he used to call KL Funky Fingers. He said, man, look, Funky, I need something. I just went through some shit and I need something. And he was working on his album. And I was sitting there like, this nigga, he interrupted my session, right? K turned around. He said, "Let me knock this out." He said, "You're not about to leave." I said, "Nah, I won't. I won't see." It was more or less like I won't see what he gonna do. And he was telling us, what I'm saying. He was just telling us what just happened, right?
yeah.
That nigga went in there, man. They ain't write a motherfucking thing and freestyle that whole fucking song about what actually just happened. And then me being me, I walks outside, and they were talking about it on the Parkway. Exactly what they was talking about. What happened? That motherfucker came in there and did that song exactly how it happened. And his
Man, that's
honesty
crazy.
was so, what I loved about him was his honesty. You know what I'm saying? And of what his demons were. and things like that. And so when I met him, he was in the streets still heavy. And the dude, him and C Murder, I've always said have the biggest hearts. You know what I'm saying? They lions,
Free
bro.
C
Ball
Murder.
wrestling. Mhm. Yeah,
Free C
free, free,
Murder.
free C man,
Rest up
innocent
Soldier
man,
Slim. Yeah.
innocent man, and rest soldier. But soldier, but the thing about it that I always want to tell people when they ask me about soldier, forget all the thug shit, man. Forget all of that, man. That dude was a damn good son. He was damn good brother, good father before he left this world. You talking about a good friend? Dog, he don't care if you wrong. If you got an issue, he's stepping in front of you and handling and let you know where you was wrong later. You know what I'm saying? No matter what, and that's what I loved about him. Though his heart was good, but I always hate that everybody got to talk about all this thug shit, man. His mama, Miss Linda, such a beautiful woman. Since my mother passed, she keeps my morale up on Facebook, always telling me, "Hey, keep your head up, this, that, and that." Just a beautiful woman, and everybody always talk about the thug shit with him, man. Nah,
Yeah.
man, that dude was a hell of a son, bro. Hell of a friend to people. You know, his GI Peaches, who a hell of an artist herself, great brother. She'll tell you that. His son, what I'm saying, Little Soldier Slim, who doing this thing, proud of him, proud of them both. You know, good father. And that don't get mentioned enough with him. You know what I'm saying? His relationship between him and his mother was beautiful, man. And people don't really know that part about him. So I just take time to say, forget the thug shit. I'm gonna always mention that when somebody asks me about
No, that's real. Now I know he was a good dude. I do got a fan question though. Did you have a fight with Soldier Slim over a stolen pistol?
him. I hate that Hound and Fiend brought that up, even though Hound, that's my dog, Hound from Gertown, he exaggerated, told little lies. You know what I'm saying? But hey, everybody want to make. But yeah, we got into it, man. We was in Cali, and I hate talking about that because that was no limit stuff, and that was between brothers to me. You know what I'm saying? And it was to a simple fact that it wasn't stolen. It was my gun, and
Yeah, now that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I had this crazy ass molten thing, right? Because maybe if
Okay.
I wasn't thinking like this, we would have never got into it. We had some situations where you in Cali gonna try you. Cali in hip hop, Cali the son that likes to start shit. And so
Okay.
you had a few came around there, and I guess though we were soft or whatever, and had to understand that we don't rock like that. You ain't playing with us. And
Hmm.
so, I had mines with me. So when that incident happened, you got, everybody go to getting ready to get right. You know what I'm saying? And so he apparently I go looking for my gun and it wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? And so for me, I got a crazy little mental thing. Like when it come to guns, don't touch my gun unless I tell you to touch it. I don't know what kind of spirit you got on you, man. I don't want that on. Don't touch unless I give it to you. And so my mind was like that. And so when I couldn't find it, and I'm like, man, somebody went in my fucking bag, blah, blah, blah. Slim being Slim, he done went off. Like, all that. And I'm sitting there looking at him and I'm like, yeah, all right, all right. I said, if you got it, you got it. I need to get that, man. And then next thing you know, my gun shows up. So we get to the hotel and we get in the hotel. He's still going off. He's still going off. And KL is looking at me and K know me.
Yeah.
One thing I like doing, I box from 14 to 16. I like fighting. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? I feel like that's the real man way to glue. That's the gladiator way to do it. You know what I'm saying? Get in the middle of the street with me. If you can get in the middle of the street with me, I can respect you. It's sad that the world not like that anymore, especially in our communities. But so I just chill, K say chill, and we get on the elevator. And I was gonna let it go into my room. And I could hear him on the elevator because once his temper gone. And I could hear him like soon as we get off the elevator. So the elevator doors open at the same time and popped out, and we did what men do. You know what I'm saying? And in between that, his cousin who was Hound, you know what I'm saying, whatever his reason, he threw a lick, you know what I'm saying, of course, you know what I'm saying, and I step back, turn, and then turn to him. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And dealing with we had to get done. You know, of course he told this crazy story for clickbait, and I still love him. That's my brother. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That oh he dropped me twice. I ain't been dropped in my life, even when I was boxing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
So and then Guillotine, who was mystical guy, you know, got in between and stopped us. I went to my room. P came to my room, and of course Hound said, "Oh, that's the reason why my album didn't come out." P was mad. This never. I came to my. In fact, P got in my shit. Like and Boz, who's Slim's cousin, came in there. Man, what happened? Told him, and he was like, "You done?" I said, "Man, we good, man. That's little bro. I'm not, you know." And you know what I'm saying? It's because they know me. You know what I'm saying? That like I said, I'm not sitting there telling anybody, oh, I don't sling a pistol or whatever, whatnot. It's for my family. I'm gonna protect my family, protect myself. But me, I love fighting. So, you know, but when I start. And only my grandmother could tell me to stop, you know. But at that time, it was like, you know what, we did what we did, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, it's done. And so P was like, long as it's done, if it's not done, you got to go. You know what I'm saying? You know, because this is my business. And, you know, so the next night, um, we go to the thing with Snoop where they tried to jump Snoop,
Yeah.
right? And this is the thing where people go to line and people that was around Slim line. That when that happened, who was standing next to me when we was about to get with them and deal with them? Him. You know what I'm saying? And I look, he would say, Big Round. I said, man, look, my bag. He said, Round, my bag. And that was it. We was done. You know what I'm saying? And everything was fine. When I came back to New Orleans, you know, people, I don't know who made the phone calls. You had people in the Magnolia mad and all this. And Pokey, Big Pokey from the Magnolia, he's like, okay, I'm gonna bring him around then. Whoever got an issue, get it on with it. You know what I'm saying? And after that, ain't nobody really, you know, bother with it because, you know, I mean, me and Slim, that was something, and I always feel bad because after I saw him that night and we squashed everything, he ended up going to jail. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? For a while. You know what I'm saying? And then the next time I saw him, you know what I'm saying? We laughed, we talked for a minute, and time passed, some months passed, and whatever, whatnot, and then he lost his life. So for
Rest in
me, it
peace,
was
Soldier
like,
Slim.
yeah, man. For me, it was like it was devastating. But you know, contrary to what everybody talk and everybody and whatever, whatnot, you know, he and I, we, you know, before he left this world, we was good. You know what I'm saying? We had been good. You know, and I hate when people, and I'm not talking about the person that asks a question because it's out there, but I
Yeah.
hate it when some of the artists at No Limit, a few of them, bring that up because they bring it up in such a thing of who won the fight, who was doing this and doing that. That man mother, that man mother tries to remember the good times about him. And I don't like that shit, bro. When artists on our label, I wasn't mad at him. I was disappointed in him to bring that up because that
Yeah.
man mother is out there. You know, you don't do that. You get what I'm saying? That lady's still suffering. You know what I'm saying? And so that really bothered me. You know, when the Fiend didn't mean nothing by it, Reginelli didn't mean nothing by it, Hound probably didn't mean nothing by it. You know what I'm saying? But people want to hear that stuff. But for me, man, I never like that's why I never told it or said anything about it because at No Limit, we whoever got into it, we kept that between us. You know what I'm saying? Because many times we had boxing gloves. If you had an issue, you went in the room with them gloves on. Ain't no
Mm-hmm.
pulling out no pistol. You got to be a man or shut the fuck up. That was P rule. If y'all arguing and y'all look like y'all won't fight, ain't no pistols. Put them gloves on, go in that room, get it off your chest. If not, shut the fuck up and get from around us. That was our rules.
Mm-hmm. That's what's up, man. That's what's up, man. Okay, you was at No Limit Records at the height of its success. At the height of its success. What do you think broke No Limit Records up?
I think, you know, I mean, when P and Beats by the Pound had their disagreement, I think I think a lot, people try to put a lot on P, you know what I'm saying? And he was going to play basketball and things like that, and the company was left for other people to run it, you know what I'm saying? And it wasn't the same, you know what I'm saying? But
Mm-hmm.
he was supposed to follow his dream. When I look back at it now, he was supposed to follow his dream because all he was doing was going and play basketball to follow his dream and go further the brand for all of us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And but we was young and we didn't understand that. You know what I'm saying? And so when him and Beast got upon that the disagreement, we was a lot of us was so loyal. It was like, you know, okay, I that's who I want to work with. I don't, and for me, and I tell people this, it wasn't about their breakup and my closeness to KL that I walked away. I was tired, bro. I was burnt out. I never got to see none of my kids take their first steps. I would come home and they walking. You know what I'm saying? Didn't get to spend as much time as I wanted to when they were younger. And then at the time I was married and I was losing my marriage because I was always gone. And so it was just one of them things for me. It was like I kept it as I lose it as an excuse to say, I'm gone, man. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I'm good. I was just burnt out. I was tired. And a lot of people say, man, y'all on the road. Why would you do that? You know, my kids and my family life and who I am meant more to me than music. You know what I'm saying? Because you can have all that money, you can have all that fame, but when you losing your marriage, when you losing time with your kids and not seeing them growing up, man, if you think that fame and all that is more important than your family, you're gonna lose every time. So that was my reason. I can't speak for other people. You know what I'm saying? That was my reason. I was tired, man. I just wanted a break. And then I felt like my life didn't belong to me. I started getting into issues, had a guy disrespect my wife in the store. I know who you serve on B word
Mhm.
bitch, right? And I end up walking him through the store because that's a different thing. You playing my wife.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so and that cost me money, his medical bills. Then Pete made me I had to do a song with him because that's what he requested he wanted, and so, and then I got into it with somebody else, because it was like I was like, man, I'll sign this because it wasn't pictures then. I'll sign this, bro. Let me finish eating them with my family. Man, fuck you, and threw the CK went back in and threw the CD by the table, and
Mm.
I just said fuck it, and it was front in front my baby girl, and I was like, this shit getting too much for me. You know what I'm saying? Because now I'm feeling like I don't own my life. You know what I'm saying? And so that was it was a lot of things, and then around that time my mother uh cancer had came back. She had previously lost a breast to cancer, a left one, and then they were talking about it. She had another knot. So for me, man, I was just like, I'm burnt out. I'm tired. You know what I'm saying? I need to get me back. And that was my reason for really walking off.
For sure. For sure. On to the next question. Can you speak on the prank UNC murder played on Debo?
Oh man. We P used to stay on us, man. If somebody says something was done and he'll either think it was Corey, because he's Corey Miller, I'm Corey Smith. So he was like, it's one of them Corys done did it. And so, me and C was like that. And people, that's another thing. Everybody think the ultimate thug. C how big as a lion, ain't no backing down, ain't no fear in him. He fear God. That's it. But you want to talk about the warmest heart, the greatest person, bro. He'll give you the shirt off his back, his shorts, his tennis shoes, whatever. But he played a lot, right? And I played, did my thing too with him, messing around with him. So if you saw him come and mess with somebody, I was gonna be right there with him. And in context and times in life when he swung, I swung, or vice versa. So what happened was we wanted to mess with Debo. And dude, a big dude. God rest his soul, man. Sweetest,
Yeah.
most intelligent man. He taught us a lot too. Um, he came and he was in the trailer. So we decided to play a trick because we had did it to somebody before.
Y'all tap in, man. When I fell in love with hip hop, Mr. Serv on, man. Israel Pacoso, man. Still more G's out right now on all platforms, man.
Oh yeah, here I am. Okay. And so what happened was we did it to somebody before, and we should have learned our lesson, right? Because that person was trying to looking for their pills to take their heart pills. We scared the shit out of them. So C come in there and C walk in there and he act like, me and him arguing. And I'm screaming, man, fuck you. You saying fuck you. And then next thing you know, he just fall to the floor and act like he catching a seizure. And Debo like, somebody got to help him. Somebody got to help him. So I'm like, we looking at him like, wait a minute, he fucking panicking, like he tripping, right? And he was
Mm-hmm.
a big dude, bro. That was a big dude. And I'm like, nah, man, leave him down there. Don't touch him. Don't touch him. Yeah, that's what he shouldn't be eating. What he eating, man, fuck him. Leave him down there. Nobody better not touch him. Let him go through what he got to go through.
Right.
Debo, like, you can't do that. You can't do that. Man, what are y'all doing? Yeah, he needs some help. He needs some help. He even growled like Debo. He needs some. so so I'm trying not to be like, oh shit.
Yeah.
And then he fussing at me like, you need to help him. What you mean don't help him? I'm like, oh shit. So he leaves out. I'm going to get help. He leaves out. We see get off the floor. We get out, come out, and they said, Debo, they was just joking. Man, like the next 2 days, he was like, if I catch y'all, it's on. And we was running from him every day. Like he'd be like, come in, let me talk to you. No, nope. So we used to do stuff like that, man. And and he taught us a lot though, man. He taught us about Hollywood, the entertainment business, about acting. If he saw us not taking it serious, you know what I'm saying, he was a hell of a loss to society and to black people. You know what I'm saying? And it killed me that a lot of people don't talk about what he done for people in Hollywood, especially black actors. So yeah, man, that was one of the things, the pranks we pulled on some people, man.
And rest in peace, Debo from Friday, man.
Yeah, man. Big
For
Zeus.
sure. For sure. All right, last question before we get out of here, man. How did you get the collaboration with Big Pun, man? How did that go, man? The studio session and everything.
Wanted to be like Mia. She had did a song with Fat Joe. And then it was personal. When I was in the Navy, I was freestyling in New York, in Rockaway, New York. A friend of mine from New York brought me out there. And the dude just stopped and looked. He said, man, son, well, you know how they talk, son, you nice. Where you from? And I said, New Orleans. He was like, man, get the fuck out of here. Y'all don't have rappers, man. Y'all niggas murder and Mardi Gras, and that pissed me off. And I was like, you gonna see, you'll see. We'll take this shit. We gonna take New York, nigga. I'll be back. And they laughed it off. And that was the same night that Andre 3000, because I watching the wall shows in New York, said like the South got something to say. Y'all disrespecting us. And that
Mm-hmm.
fueled me. And my thing was always to be part of the situation that take rap from New York. You know what I'm saying? It was personal. As much as I love New York artists. And so when we did the song with Big Pun, it was strategic as far as like, but I was a big fan of his. Like I loved his music. And so when I understood that he had, the Puerto Ricans, all the Latinos, everything, and he had New York at the time. And I was a big fan of Big Fat Joe. And so P was like, you want to do the song with him? I was like, yeah. So when Fat Joe came to the House of Blues, we live by the old rule in rap. If you came to our city and you was a rapper, big rapper, and you had something you came to New Orleans, our job was to come see if you need anything and to make sure you was all right. You want some weed? We got it. You need a gun? Here you go. You know what I'm saying? Give it to me when you leave, or throw that motherfucker away. Break it down and throw it away. Give you something to smoke, whatever you need, females, whatever. Because that's the way rap used to be. You touch my city, I got your back. You're gonna leave safely. And so went to see if Joe didn't need anything in Pun, and I got to meet him. And Joe was like, we'll set it up. Y'all just get at us. And so I was able to do the song. And one, I came to New York to do it, but the video was more important because remember the promise I made. And that's why we did the video in New York in Times Square. No
Mm.
rapper from New York has never done a video in Times Square.
Man,
You know
that's
what I'm
crazy. That's
saying?
legendary shit.
Yeah, we did it. And it was at the legendary club, the Tunnel. And if you look, we had Capadonna and Shaim from Wu Tang was in the video. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Stevie J was at an appearance in the video, and then Gloria Velez, the video vixen, the first video vixen. That was her first video she ever did. She's sitting next to me in the car in the beginning in the limo, right next to me. So
Man,
you
that's
know what I
crazy.
mean? Yeah, so that's how that came about, man. And I respect Pun, dog. He had a broken foot for that video. You got to
Yeah,
imagine he was a big guy, so he was standing up doing his verses. He had a broken foot, and it was like fucking 20 degrees in Times Square. I'm from New Orleans, dog. if it get to 50, dog, the whole city shut down. So you so you
Yeah.
know I wasn't used to that, but that's how that came about.
For sure, for sure. With that being said, this is another episode of When I Fell in Love with Hip Hop. We got Mr. Serv on No Limit Records, platinum artist, man, actor, man, all of that, man. You know, motivational speaker, man, speaking to the people, to the youth, man. Y'all tap in, man. Stlmogz, Isreal, Pacoso, Mr. Serv on out right now, man. Video on the
Pac
way, man. Y'all
Pac-Man
tap
album
in, man.
too. My
Yeah, yeah,
Pac-Man album out there, man. And I'm coming to the Lou, man. I'm coming to the Lou, man. I want to see the people. It's just not just about it. First priority is taking care of my dude, my bro.
yeah.
But I want to see the people, man. I want to definitely see y'all when I get out there, man.
For sure, for sure. With that being said, this is Israel Picasso. And When I Fell in Love with Hip Hop, we out of here. Peace.